Greetings, YouTube. I just found out that my new Nikon Z50, a mirrorless camera with its adapter, can't autofocus my old super telephoto lens with its old motor drive technology, and this is how I feel about it. All right, so now I got over that. Mirrorless cameras have new features like focus peaking and focus zoom. Can these new features completely flip the script on what we can do with mirrorless cameras and old manual focus lenses like this? Well, I went to my sister's barn to find out. Stay tuned for more. All right, so the advent of electronic viewfinders on mirrorless cameras makes manual focus easier than ever. Because of the electronic viewfinders, we can look at the focus via focus peaking in real time. And what focus peaking is the camera's internal image processor is able to identify sharp edges within your frame that you're trying to focus on. And when it is sharp, it will highlight those edges in a color of your choice. And my Nikon Z50 gives me a choice between red, white, and yellow. And I really like red because I think it stands out. And I use the highest intensity setting on that. And as a result of that, I can clearly delineate what's sharp and what's not. And also, when I go out, I can see the depth of field because the focus peaking will highlight more depth in your frame when you have more in focus. So focus peaking is an exceptional way to really make it clear what is in focus and what's not. And you could not do that with a DSLR so easy. DSLRs, the newer ones, do have focus peaking, but you can't do that in real time with the electronic viewfinder like you can with a mirrorless camera. And that's something that really makes these manual focus lenses completely new territory in 2023, as far as what we can do with them. All right, so focus peaking and manual focus gave me so much control over the camera experience when doing portrait photography of my sister's horses. I was able to make adjustments in real time and see which parts of the horse's hair on their face was in focus and which facial features were in focus. And using like auto detect autofocus usually is going to like find something like the eye, or if you use your spot focus, you have to move it around to get it to the part of the frame you want it. Whereas utilizing focus peaking gave a seamless experience where you could control and see in real time what was in focus and also see the depth of what that focus is. And the real interesting thing was the horses would move around naturally because they don't want to just sit still and smile. So I was able to utilize, focus peaking, make micro adjustments, using, prediction. And I was able to retain focus as they moved around. And that actually honestly wasn't too difficult. And overall, using focus peaking for more simple experiences like portrait photography and, where things are relatively still, it was an empowering experience. All right, so when I switched over to my telephoto lens and did some fast action photography of the horses playing around in their fenced area, that's when things went a bit topsy-turvy with the focus peaking. I had high hopes going into this experience that I would be able to use focus peaking and utilize skill to retain things in focus when the horses were running around and changing their distance from me at a quite dramatic rate. But those hopes were met with significant challenge. The vast majority of the exposures I took during that experience were left with images that were still out of focus. And that was because I was not able to be adept enough in my skills and utilize focus peaking to get things in that perfect tack sharp focus. It was very difficult. I did get some shots that were reasonable, but when the shots are reasonable, I was also met with not having the greatest composition. So when you do this, not only must one focus on getting things in perfect focus, but one must also maintain composition at the same time. And doing those things in a fast action environment was excruciatingly difficult, and clearly my skills aren't up to par to do that. So I really admire the photographers, the wildlife photographers who focus on manual focus with their wildlife photography. That's a learned skill. So to be honest, when I had a previous experience, the prior week going there with my D200, not a modern camera by any stretch of the imagination, I had honestly an easy time utilizing its autofocus to get shots like this, where I was able to get things in tack sharp focus and not have too much difficulty doing that. And that's where autofocus really shines, is tracking things that are moving very quickly. Doing that with focus peaking was excruciatingly difficult, and that's an area where I honestly don't think focus peaking completely flips the script on that. That is left for autofocus and modern features. All right, so does focus peaking completely flip the script on what we can do with these old manual focus lenses? For the most part, doing this experiment, I can absolutely say yes. I have never been so motivated to go out and attach these old lenses to my camera, my digital camera, honestly, since like the days of film when I used to shoot slide film. But now, like, what I can do with focus peaking, like I want to take these old lenses and attach it to again, because it just makes it so easy to do manual focus, and there's so much control over the photographical experience. However, with focus peaking, there are limitations, and that comes to a halt when you start doing like really difficult fast action photography. That's an area where autofocus and modern features still obviously shines. And if you're doing work where you're getting paid and you want to come out with as many workable exposures as possible, obviously using autofocus is going to give you a lot more reliable and consistent results. So that being said, I've never felt so empowered with these old lenses since utilizing focus peaking, and it's an incredible feature on these modern mirrorless cameras. All right, friends, thanks for taking some time out of your day to check out my video. Hope you found some of the content in this video really helpful, and if you did, leave a like in the box below. It really helps out my channel. Also, if you'd like to check out more content like this in the future, subscribe to my channel. And lastly, if you'd like to check out my photographic work where I've done astrophotography, landscape photography, and wildlife photography, check out my website and the link in the description. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you in another video.